Welcome to the Advice Show, media with a common sense approach. So Eric Garner was laid to rest, and he had a home going, and he had a lot of people there, including Reverend Al Sharpton, also the family of Sean Bell was there, and the other man that was killed by the NYPD as well. I mean, this reoccurring trend of just killing people, this stuff needs to stop. Let me go roll the clip.
It was a packed funeral tonight where mourners promised justice for the dead. The crowd gathered to remember Eric Garner, the man who died in a struggle with police. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez was there.
Don't bow down. We got to win.
An emotional call to action inside a packed Bethel Baptist church. As mourners paid their respects to Eric Garner, they vowed not to let him die in vain.
We must take this as a call to ourselves. People will only do what we allow them to do to us.
The 43-year-old Staten Island father of 6 died after being placed in a chokehold by a New York City police officer. During the funeral, his family was surrounded by the support of friends and strangers, including the families of Amadou Diallo and Sean Bell, 2 men who also died in police-involved incidents. Public advocate Letitia James promised to ensure the city acts swiftly in Garner's case, including mandatory training on the use of force for all 35,000 NYPD officers.
We will demand that all street encounters going forward be videotaped in the city of New York so that we can avoid this from happening again.
The Reverend Al Sharpton got the church on its feet when he said the NYPD needs more than training.
You don't need no training to stop choking a man saying I can't breathe.
Reverend Sharpton says he will be meeting with the Garner family on Friday to begin pursuing a civil rights lawsuit against the NYPD. In the Bourne Hill section of Brooklyn, Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.
Now, I want to focus on one thing out of this video that you saw, where the other pastor got up and said, people do things to you that you allowed them to do. And that was a very, very true statement and a powerful statement. Understand something, black people, Hispanic people in the New York area. The NYPD does this to you because you allowed them to. You say, what do you mean we don't allow this? Yes, you do. Until you mobilize, get together, use this one event to fuel your rage and to fuel your fight against the NYPD and demand your city politicians to prosecute these cops, not just give them retraining or a desk job, getting paid the whole time they're doing it while you're at home suffering with injuries. Your family member is probably dead at the hands of the NYPD, and they just going to go back to work, and they're going to do this to somebody else's family member. They will continue to do this to the citizens of the New York area until you stop it. You don't have to do nothing illegal to stop it, but you can sit there and get together. Everybody who's suffered something, join together at least in those 2 communities, and you sit there and you make sure things change within your area. And if a cop, is choking somebody out and somebody half dying, don't just record it. Somebody needs to try to stop it. I'm sorry, we can't just sit there and watch a cop do stuff like this to people, and we clearly see that the guy is down. I mean, something got to stop with that. I mean, it gets to a point, when are we going to take personal responsibility to stop some of these cops too from doing this stuff? Because if somebody is down, you clearly see that. Yet he's still choking the person out. I mean, even, all the people that saw what happened to Eric Garner, if a few people at least walked up on a situation, some of the men, and say, hey, he down, at least that much, it'll draw the attention off of Eric enough to say, tell him to back off or whatever. I'm just saying, I know some of you say, ain't nobody gonna fool no police or whatever, but it's going to have to get to a point where people will have to stand up and say something, because if you do not say anything, this stuff is going to keep happening. I mean, we can't just sit here and just keep watching our loved ones get killed like this or being harassed on the street when you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, these cops are running around here, like it's martial law or undeclared martial law. They can do what they want to do to you, and there's nothing you can say. And what I don't like is nobody, from the president to Congress, never addressed this stuff. Why? Why everybody so quiet? This is my thing. When it was Trayvon Martin Everybody got their mouth talking, including President Obama. But I don't hear President Obama talking about the NYPD. I don't. I would sure like to hear him say something about this. This is pretty national. It's a pretty big thing. You know, it's like when it's time to correct the cops, everybody quiet. Don't say nothing. You know, let them handle it on their own. But stuff like Trayvon or other social things, you know, President Obama got plenty to say then. That's all I'm saying. President Obama, say something. You got to say something. You got to, you know, federally change some stuff, because this is civil rights violations. Clearly, what's happening to the people. Not just in New York City, but all over this country. To all groups of people, not just black and Hispanic people. I mean, the black and Hispanics are targeted in the New York City area, but they got other places that everybody's targeted. Doesn't matter what color you are. And we clearly have seen the videos. Like I seen one video of this man, Kelly Thomas. He's white, and he was mentally challenged, and them cops beat that man so bad that he was unrecognizable, and he died. And the whole time them cops are beating him, he was crying for his dad. One of the sad videos that I've seen. I mean, them savage cops, I mean, just beat him. I seen other videos. Like I said, they beating white people too. Oh, yes, they are. That's why. But I don't know why it isn't talked about as much. But they beating the hell out of white people. You know, and these cops are just crazy. They're extremely crazy now. The people got to get together and put your differences aside about what you think about other people, because it may be Eric Garner today, it may be this man in this video today, but tomorrow it could be you, it could be your loved one. We gotta stop this stuff that's getting out of hand. Hit me up in the comments, future commentaries, subscribe.